Trust underpins every digital identity system, from biometrics to governance. Welcome to the Trust Files from Biometric Update and Velvet, where we share perspectives from industry experts on how organizations are approaching that challenge and what it means for the future.
When we think about digital haves and have-nots, much of the conversation today is centered on the digitally disenfranchised, who are unable to access services due to a lack of permanent address or because they have no access to tech, like a smartphone. But lack of digital literacy is also a big issue. One factor that hasn't been widely discussed is an unexpected barrier that is experienced by digital natives. So often, younger generations will struggle to access digital services precisely because they've grown up getting used to things like Face ID, that advanced ID tech that uses biometrics. The likes of Apple and Google have made it so easy that some of the younger generation expect to be able to access all digital services through facial or fingerprint recognition. And that makes it so much harder to do things like remember an email address or a password. The reality is that the processes, when you're dealing with things like government services or financial services, they are necessarily more complex, and they're likely to require access to a broader range of data that's held in different places and not just on your phone. And that data will also be accessed through a range of passwords or other means of verification. So not everything is frictionless, and the expectation that it could be is storing up problems for the future. To ensure fairness and inclusion, we really have to reconsider this tech first, people later attitude. And remember that there are so many different ways to verify someone's identity. And that means not immediately shutting down a conversation because someone doesn't have access to a smartphone or own a passport. ID poverty is an issue that impacts every country, even a technologically advanced market like the UK. And I know from my time working at the Department for Work and Pensions that there are a surprising number of people who are unbanked. And that can create huge problems just in terms of people proving that they are who they claim to be. And dignity shouldn't be about having to jump through hoops to prove that you're telling the truth. Public and private sector organisations are both guilty of crossing a line into intrusiveness. And I want to live in a world in which it's my choice to share as much or as little personal data as I feel comfortable with in order to meet the needs of that verification on a case-by-case basis.
This has been the Trust Files from Biometric Update, produced in collaboration with Velvet. The series brings together perspectives from across the digital identity ecosystem, and we're keen to hear from others shaping the future of digital trust. To have your say, get in touch with Andy at velvetpr.biz.